Okay, new principles available. Pip eggs. No, we don't want them. Go away, pip eggs. What we do want, however, is a new spangly, wonderful base in which to hide our dupes. That or a rocket. I mean, one or t'other, I guess. Has that one been done? Have they all been done? It looks like they were all done while we were away. Fantastic. Okay. Let's get these sealed off then. I guess... Well, I mean, that's already built, so I can actually just hook that up whenever I want now. This is already set to 50. Great. Let's get that sealed. And these are replaced. Tunk, tunk. I guess we're going to have to deconstruct these just to let all of that fall through. It's a shame, but it is a need as well. There we go. We've got incoming. Oh, never mind. They managed to do it without having to drop anything in. I am actually reasonably impressed. Right, with this point then, time for us to pop down. Oh no, I cannot make it out of that. Oh no. Don't have enough steel. Ah, drat. That said, I don't actually need steel here anymore, simply because this area is sealed off, so I can go ahead and pop that down. Not that I actually need to seal this off, really, now that you think about it, because the experiment of sealing this in completely just overheated everything, so... We need that poke shell, Raj, to have steel, or a rocket to be able to go get stuff, but realistically speaking... To build a rocket, we're going to need an awful lot of steel. I'm thinking, though... Yeah, we're going to have to start repurposing some of these steel... items around the base, because we've got an awful lot that we don't strictly need anymore. Like, all of these, don't need them. Realistically, they're surplus to demand, quite surplus to demand at this point. How are we doing with power in general? Not terrible. Yeah, we should be able to set up a little poke shell ranch. And I think that will provide all the lime that we're going to need to get the rest of the steel we require. That being said, we can go in and get some fossil out of a couple of the zones that still have it. That would be significantly faster initially. Yeah, you know what? Let's take that route. Also, I have really been a bit lax in the last two streams of continuing to core out the asteroid. I do apologize. Let's get this place entirely cored. Then we can start digging down from here into this area. Go for that fossil there. I think that would be wise. Granted, we're going to fill it with all kinds of nastiness, but oh well. I guess them's the breaks, really. We'll make it look a little bit more natural, though. I think I'll be able to reach all of that. I'm not entirely sure, though. Let's try and get as much of that as we can. To get this one is going to require... Oh, actually, there's a lot of poke shells over there. So many molts. Ah, be grand. Chlorine gas vent there. A little bit of algae. Yeah, nothing too impressive there. Is there any in here? No. I still need to set up the carbon dioxide, guys. I haven't done that, but I'm... so many other projects that right now take precedence, I feel, over that one. There is a decent amount of items in here to be collected, though. So, time for us to make our entrance, I feel. There we go. We'll try and gather as much as we can. Then burrow through. All the way across. May as well grab that as well as we go. Now we're going to need ladders on this side, definitely. So let's preempt that and pop them in. There we are. That should allow us to get at some more of the preciousness. You are an issue. Kind of. I mean, sort of. You're sort of an issue. I would very much like your poke shells. Hopefully, you're not about to procreate, because the moment you do... Oh dear. Someone is trapped. Who has trapped themselves? Is someone going to die? Yeah. Quite possibly. Incoming. You... Fool. Can I open this? Can I force it open? I may be able to force it open. Ouch. Can you open the door? It's going to open. Ouch. No power I can connect it. Okay, well, can we open this one then? Oh, it's over. It's over, it's over, it's over. Quickly, we need you to get out. Absolute fool. You may be about to die, I'm afraid. There's a remarkably high chance of this happening. We need you to do it. Quickly, move. Now, now, now. Over there. Top priority. Right now. Go. Quickly. Get up. Go, 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 go. You've got seconds. Get inside the base. Now. Go. Somewhere where you can just take your helmet off. Go. Go. So close. So close. There's oxygen on the other side of that door, plane seeker. Take it off. Remove unequip suit. Oh! That was so close. That was so close. Damn you, nice. No, you have little faith. How dare you? I did actually get quite close though. Not gonna lie, that was a bit of a close one. That could have been particularly nasty. I didn't realize this wasn't powered, otherwise I wouldn't have wasted time on it. I did get smacked twice, though, by a bloody asteroid. That was unfortunate. Right, let's get this in place. Have we got the steel now? Yes, we do. Only just, though. So you're going to continue to be absolute idiots to yourselves, aren't you? I love how Huey, Dewey, and Louie were just watching it happen. Like these stupid fleshlings. Ice, carbon dioxide, oxygen, wart seeds, and sleep grain available there, though. Nice. This is how slow they open when they haven't got power. I said they were slow. He would have died even if he'd started opening this with a full tank of oxygen. How many critters have we got in here now? 26 eggs. 62 critters, though. It's going up. Steadily. Snowfoot. Why have you done this to yourself? Please go. Leave this place. See, the problem is it's almost open. There we go. So if they couldn't pass through it. It's so dumb. How are we doing in here? What's the temperature? It's not too bad, 150. Oh, we've actually started to empty some of this. The next activity for that geyser, though, is in 8.7 cycles. What about this one down here? This one is active, and it's going to be dormant in 69. Where was I getting 80 from? Either way, relatively good. Looks like we're continuing to pull out a little bit more pressure in there. Yeah, we're still piping a decent amount of steam out. Yeah, it's going to be a while, I imagine. How the Slickster's doing? There's oxygen in this Slickster's pen. There's everything but CO2. There's a tiny amount of CO2 because we are pumping it in there. There's just enough for them to live off, it seems. But that's about it. Again, tiny, tiny amounts. There are so many of them up here now. So many. Wow. Just wow. Right. Well, we're slowly allowing more and more liquid into these areas, which is not exactly the plan, but I guess it'll do. Ah, yeah, I couldn't put it there because there was a seed there. I'm going to prioritize stripping this zone. Let's get in there, try and get that fossil out. If we can, then we can make some more steel. And we are going to need it for the next stage of our journey. One way or t'other. And there's nothing much we can do about that. Okay. There is something not in the wall there. But it is in the wall. It's kind of colourful looking around at the various gases as they, band in layers, but at the same time, I can't imagine it's particularly good on the calculations of the game. I imagine it's rather computationally expensive to have all of that going on. All right, well then, it is our time to decide where we're going to live next. The options are a large barracks up here, which is technically really close to our food source. And close to the Gravitas building. Alternatively, we could try and squeeze something in here, but it would be a bit of a squeeze. This is for layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We really want 8. I'm thinking up here is going to be the best place. Gives us loads of room. We'd be able to have a fairly expansive dock, suit dock station. I think we can make it happen. Yeah, I think that's going to be where we need to go. Whilst that can then start happening while we're taking care of everything else around the place. There we go. And let's see. Is that generally generating more heat than we're getting rid of? I mean, this is probably the most energy-dependent time that this is going to be here. Normally, this would be pulling the temperature down a bit. We'll have to see where it starts to equalize. Because we'll start seeing a very big difference between the oxygen escaping. I mean, the oxygen there is like 130 degrees. As long as it can prevent this from getting to 250, it doesn't matter how high it is. Because we're never going to have regolith sitting on top of it. Ooh, a dusty dwarf. Regolith, mafic rock, and sedimentary rock. Okay. A loosely held together composite of minerals. No additional resources. But if nothing else, we're discovering what lies just beyond where we could potentially send missions to. Almost up to 100 now. It's not a bad overall temperature. 56, 113, 62, 62. You'll generally notice that they will have temperatures similar to the tiles around them. Though in this case, that's very much not the case. There we go. It's still getting hotter because we are still adding more heat to it. Yeah, why is the oxygen so hot? Oh, it's probably all of the mafic rock around it, actually. Because that oxygen is moving past the filtration medium. It's basically been cooling down the filtration medium this whole time. These are crazy hot, but then the ones right in front of the robo miners, not quite so. How about we try to clean up anything that's in front of the robo miners? That should help out a lot. And just because I can. Good morning, lad. How are you doing? How's the space exploration go? Well, I mean, the exploration is going relatively well. We have discovered many, many new secrets. Secrets of the stars. We've also upscaled our oxygen generation, and indeed our hydrogen generation, for that matter. So now we have a fairly steady supply of waste gases, as well as hydrogen for our generation over here, which is actually pretty cool. Realistically speaking, though, we're not going to hurt for power. We're just not. We've got a ridiculous amounts of storage. I'm a little concerned about how quickly... Yeah, look how quickly we melted that down. A little bit concerned about how quickly we are pulling the chill out of this area, but it's to be expected. Let's have a look at the igneous rock. It's down to 132 degrees. 39 degrees, sorry. Or 5.4 tons of it. And there's going to be a bunch of it dumped out there in just a moment, no doubt. Yep. On its way out, and plomp down there. And the temperature is going straight back up again. Marvelous. So at this point, the whole room is a little bit crazy. Honestly, I'm starting to think that maybe I should keep the igneous rock in there for a while. Until it manages to... Until we manage to eke out more of its temperature. I'm thinking we might want to do that. Hey, Nucrium, how you doing, mate? Or Nucrium, rather. If Bilal is in check, can we get a shout out for Nucrium, please? How you doing, buddy? Oh, you're playing Silmarus Dice Kingdom. I've heard quite a lot about that game, actually. I haven't had a chance to check in on it. Thank you, Bilal. Well, I wasn't asking if you could. I was asking if you were there. It was a polite way of saying, hey, Bilal, you still awake, mate? It's about your bedtime. Yeah, I definitely getting that vibe from most of the people in my chat at the moment as well. All right, let's draw this out. We have melted so much of this biome now. Oh, my goodness. To be fair, though, wow, it's 21 degrees in the frozen core. I consider that an achievement, frankly. Bedtime was long ago. Bedtime is cancelled to this one. What? No. Yeah, it's up to 150 degrees now. We've got a lot of igneous rock there. An awful lot of it, actually. I'm really strongly feeling that we shouldn't be letting this go until we're down to like 150. Let's suck every last bit of energy out of this. Don't turn it on until, yeah, above 160 and then below 150. The issue with that is it would kind of sit there in the middle, so... I'm actually going to have that only turn on once it hits 200. 190, I suppose. But yeah, I should have been doing this a little bit more. Eking out even more power out of this stuff before I let it, before I dump it. It's a bit silly of me. We'll dump it out once it goes below 130. But we'll keep it in here until then. We'll try and extract as much energy as we can. Well, welcome, Raiders. I hope you are familiar with Oxygen Are Included. If you are not, it is a colony builder that has a very strong kind of emphasis on quasi-physics. I mean, it does a really good job of modeling physics, as much as it does. There are some things that are decidedly not realistic. Perpetual motion, conservation of energy, these sorts of things. But it is a really, really enjoyable game that you can just sink your teeth into and just over-engineer a solution to every potentially simple problem. Which is largely what this monstrosity is. It's a massively over-engineered solution and sometimes a problem in and of itself to a relatively simple problem of how do I get power. That being said, power is one of the main issues in and of itself. On this map specifically, heat is a big issue as well. It has physics. They're just not always the same as our physics. That's a very good way of describing it. Yes, I approve. Oh, I'll take the aluminium ore. Thank you. Right, there's more scanning. Oh, found a terrestrial planet. A planet with a walkable surface, though it does not possess the resources to sustain a long-term life. Water, algae, oxygen, dirt, and 2 other things. Also, blossom seeds and fry eggs are available to bring back as resources from there. Okay. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more planets, not including this one. So 11 in total for us to research before we have researched every single planet. We can start planning our trip to the stars. Darkfire Phoenix is playing Amazing Cultivation Simulator while having Aavak's stream running in the background. Well, I hope you're enjoying the stream, and I hope you're enjoying Amazing Cultivation Simulator. But yeah, I think one more scanner would be a nice thing to do, but realistically, honestly, we could probably even go all in and just build a rocket silo. At least for an early stage rocket. I believe the early stage rockets are steam. Yes. We need a lot of steel. That can be done. Research modules and steam. Yeah. Gantry. We could build a small rocket capable of taking us to the nearest planet. I think that might be worthwhile. Right now, this has not failed us. A single scanner is pretty much managing everything we need. Realistically, we've only got 17%, so it will detect an incoming object 34 seconds to 200 seconds before they arrive. Okay. Twitch chat wiki. Could you tell me, because I believe that this is known, how long does it take for a powered door to close? A bunkered door. How long does it take a powered one to close? I may still want another scanner, honestly, anyway. But if that's enough, then I might leave as is. I'll start filling that area in as well. Okay, it's managed to stabilize around 129. It's now starting to drop. Excellent. Oh, wait. I need to tell you that you're allowed to use this one. Oops. Now you can start popping things in there. Twitch chat wiki called Twicky. Sure. Can I close it manually? Maybe I can actually. Okay. Are you counting? Okay, that's only about 15 seconds. On 3 times speed. That's a good point, actually. I need to go down to regular speed. Well, I don't know. Oh, that's annoying. 39 seconds to close, 44 to open. Thank you. All right. Well, we will need a second scanner, guaranteed then. If I have 2 scanners flanking a telescope, honestly, it's just going to look good. And that's good enough reason for me to do it. But 2 scanners will be sufficient for us to always close on time. Because we have taken 1 impact here. There has been 1 impact that has caused damage to the surface that our sweepies are walking on. So that is definitely something we need to bear in mind. Indeed, 'tis time for the battle. You are quite right. There we go. Overall, these are doing fine in terms of their temperature. The temperatures are generally tending downwards. So the 50 grams is more than enough. It's actually pretty cool to know. We did not need the 100 grams that I've been pushing up here all this time before. Alright, well with that said then, the final thing that we're going to need to set up is simply another scanner. And that scanner is going to need to be around here. Can I not make it out of steel? No, I can. I'm assuming that this one's made out of steel. Oh, no, it's made out of copper. Well. Oh, of course, because it doesn't actually produce heat. It doesn't produce heat itself. And it's never going to be in contact with anything that produces heat, so there's no reason to make it out of something that's capable of withstanding a lot of heat. Alright, we're going to build it there then. This will be where we build the things. Need that. We will need some sandstone just across. And we will need mesh tiles. Let's not use copper because I will run out. One, two, three on the back. Yep. Right. Okay. Well, let's get these into position. Now, I am going to need 2 additional... I will need 2 additional robo miners on this side to completely cover it. But with that in place, we will actually be able to control the doors to a level of accuracy that we're not going to have to worry about anything else moving forward. We're not going to have to worry about getting of not opening or closing the doors in time to deal with the incoming meteorites. And at that stage, we've got a couple of other new options in addition to rocketry. One of them is solar power. Because once we can guarantee that we're going to close off the doors before we get smacked in the face by a meteorite, then we are safe from... we're safe enough to open up for solar, which would be actually quite nice. Yeah, I know there's a battle there. We'll go over to the battle just as I wrap up the stream. So I want to get this in place first. Though. Really? Why would you do this? Why? Please get out of there. Before you run out of air. That is going to suck so bad. Please don't die. Will make me very sad. Go. Now you can leave. Go away from this place, you stupid, stupid duplicant. Ah, my lord. Have you both stuck yourselves again? No, you didn't. Okay. I'll let you off this time, but close. Right, we don't need it to be quite that high of a priority. And there we go. Oh, my lord. Killed up on a ledge. Yeah, I know, right? I suppose this is as good a sleep spot as any other when you're a duplicant. Yeah, okay. Right, we're going to need this tile. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 more of these to go. We have just enough, but that is going to leave us with not enough for additional robo miners. And I believe we're actually going to need 1 extra as well. We need 1 here. Can't copy it. And then 1. Actually, no. Surprisingly, will be good. Having an extra one would probably be worth having, though. So I will nail it in. even though we're not going to have the steel to complete that job. But I can salvage some steel from around the rest of the asteroid. That shouldn't be a biggie. There are a couple of places where I've used steel rather liberally, when otherwise I shouldn't have. Like, all of these batteries are made of steel, for example. And we don't need them. I only put them there because I could. In fact, do they even have an overheat temperature? I think they do. Yeah, they do. So yeah, we're going to have to strip out some of those batteries to get the steel back that we're going to need to finish off the second scanner. But with that in place, we'll be pretty set, honestly. And now we've pulled away the items that were just sat there, keeping these things... Well, actually, we've still got a little bit here. And by a little bit, I actually mean quite a lot. Yeah, 16.5 tons a little bit. Once we've moved those away from there, then it should be a lot better for the gases that are trying to cool this place down. You know what? Maybe I'm going to drop these priorities down to 1, though. Because otherwise it's going to be a potch. I will rise these priorities all to 7. Power-wise, we should be okay. I'll have to double check. I can always run a third cable over there, though. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. But the main thing is that we have now properly started to explore space. In the next stream, I'm guessing we're going to be sending off our first steam-powered rockets. Power is no longer a concern for us for the most part. It's still a little bit early to be too confident about that, but generally speaking, we've got more than enough fuel to run our generators. I am worried about the frozen core, because it's significantly less frozen than it used to be. That is a problem. But by and large, we're not doing too badly. We aren't doing too badly anymore. I mean, I say as I'm looking at the frozen core with a 27-degree lake in the middle of it. Some mistakes were made. Yeah, we're going to have to race the great warming once the core melts. Once the core melts, we're in deep, deep trouble. Again, that said, I'm barely utilizing my cooling system at the moment. The next, the barracks that we build will be built from the ground up to make use of this coolant, the petroleum coolant. I think that should be pretty solid. But that's going to be it for now, I think. We have a final glance at the map. There we go. It's not too bad. I still need to set this up properly so it delivers hot CO2 over to the slicksters. I actually probably should make that a little bit more of a priority than I have. Additionally, we need a poke shell ranch somewhere. How aggressively we ranch them, I have no clue. Because we don't have that solid of a production of polluted dirt or rot. But with the amount of food that we have, we could easily fabricate rot piles. That shouldn't actually be too difficult. It's testament to how well we've been producing them so far that we've got so little rot. Just because of how well we've been sterilizing our food. But right now, that is an enormous amount of storage for natural gas. We are probably at a point now where, as long as we keep the petroleum generators rolling and the hydrogen here and there, we're probably good with the 2 geysers that we've got. And if not, we can always tweak it a little bit more just to get a little bit more power out of it. We are slowly melting through this glacier over here. That's almost gone. That was down here when we started today, I'm fairly certain. But yeah, fairly happy with it. I'm really happy with what we're doing with space. I feel like we've got a really good handle on how to navigate space now. So all that remains, set up this scanner, pick a spot, and then sink some silos to launch rockets from. I'm actually kind of thinking that it would be more potch to deal with all of that than it would be to just keep on going in this direction and sink a bank of silos down there. And then we'll see what we can do with that. But that is going to be it for me. I really do hope you have enjoyed and will be joining me for the next. If you're watching this over in YouTube land, then I hope you've been enjoying the VODs especially. But until next time, as always, take care, everyone.